New music, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's not the definitive music, but it's a nice start. Brooksy, our producer, who's over in Vegas at the moment, that's his choice. Tim, you've got to sign off on all music. Is that going to be it or not?
I'm not convinced yet. What do you think?
What do I think? I don't care. Just send in some nominations. This time every year we sit down here and argue about the music. But
what about we get a track from Usher after his performance yesterday?
Well,
did he have trouble putting his skates on?
Not now. With our audience will be sick of that. By 8 o'clock, I'll give it. I tell you who I'll run it past. I'll run it past Fags. See if he likes it.
They were nice boys, weren't they?
Are they
nice young fellas?
Super young fellas. And well, we're in the prediction mode because we said this time, listen, after our short break, we're going to come back hot. We're not going to wait. We're going to wait until we listen to everyone, what about that? You and I are going to set the bar on this.
You said you're going to out-corn. That's what you said to me.
No, I didn't.
I spoke to you Christmas Eve and I said, Gary, what's your New Year's resolution? You said, Wisp, I'm going to out-corn.
That is not possible. But we're going to put it on the line this morning at 7 o'clock. So these are I said to you on that Christmas Eve hookup, I said I want the 2 grand finalists, I want the Brownlow medalist, the rising star, the recruit of the year, and the club under most pressure. And you said, Garrity, old friend, I'll go to work on that right now, and I'll do 2 months or a month and a half, and I'll give you the answer on the 13th of February out of the 7 o'clock news, and we're here. And you can join us, 1300 736 736. Help us out. You might go into you might be the caller of the week. A 2024 Toyota Hilux GR Sport is on offer thanks to Toyota Genuine Service.
We should flip it. We should flip it and be a bit negative. That's what we should do because that's what we're supposed to do. Who do you think, of all the teams that finished in the top 8 last season,
who do you think's going to be the slide? That's not in my questions.
No, it's not.
Well, I've done 8 weeks of homework and you're trying to drop another one on me.
Okay, all right. Okay, who's your grand finalists?
This is not going to sit well with.
Because you spend a lot more time on this than I have.
Not going to sit well with AFL House. I've got Brisbane playing the Giants.
That's interesting.
Why?
Because I had the Giants playing Sydney.
Well, it's not good news.
What about?
That's good news for Melbourne. Base clubs.
No, but that doesn't matter. That's great news for football if that was the case.
It's great news because the chances of us getting it right. Oh, you got Sydney playing in the grand final.
I got Sydney playing in the grand final.
Why?
Well, I love the way they recruited in the off-season.
Who?
Well, they've got Jordan from Melbourne. They've got the
James Jordan.
Yeah, they got Adams from Collingwood.
Taylor Adams. Yeah.
They got the big fella from Brody Grundy from Collingwood,
Melbourne,
and one other. Oh, they've got Harry Hamlin from Fremantle as well.
Yep.
Who hasn't been able to step up regularly and consistently.
Some support.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of backup support there as well.
And who have you got them playing?
I've got them playing against the Giants. You know, I reckon everybody.
Well, you got the Giants playing Sydney.
Well,
in the grand final.
Do you know? You go back and have a look at the last third of last season.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
And the best performers.
I've done that
Well, I don't think you did.
I did.
I don't think you looked hard enough at it.
That's why I've got the
Giants. And they were within a kick of being in the grand final last year.
Right.
And I reckon they can be better. They got
right.
off to a slowish sort of start because they were still trying to work out exactly what the game plan was.
Then
once that clicked into action, and apparently Hogan is just training the house down.
I don't think we're shooting from the hip here either. I don't think we haven't put a lot of time into this. I think Adelaide, Brisbane, under Fags, and he's going to join us, Chris Fagan, out of 8.
Oh, you're only saying that because he's coming in.
18th, this is what he's gone. He's coming into his 8th season, right? He's gone 18th, 15th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 4th, 2nd.
And?
Led a grand final with 5 minutes to go. To me, that says time is right.
Is he the AFL equivalent to Andy Reid? Is he our Andy Reid, do you think?
No, because Andy Reid's already had 2 Super Bowls up until yesterday.
No, I understand that, but I'm talking about the age and the experience now.
Oh, I don't even look at that.
Is he old school, do you think, Fags? Do you think he does it differently than some of the other younger coaches in the competition?
No, I don't. I wouldn't put that adjective on, old. I think he's got his own unique style, which all coaches have. And
he's above 60, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I mean that's not old because I'm above 60.
I hope he's not listening. That's the 7th time you've brought up age. I said I'm not interested. It doesn't really worry me about his age. It's just his experience.
Well, hang on a minute. You said to me this morning, Wisp, there's 7 NFL coaches under the age of 40, so you have been thinking about age.
Not when it comes
Don't back out now.
When it comes to Chris Fagan, I haven't. Anyway, I've got them playing, and I just think the Giants, I've put them in just to... I didn't do that just off the cuff either. I thought about that long and hard.
Did you?
And I like what they did last year, and they're not too far away, and I think they'll get better.
Okay, can I ask you a question, because this is not even on the rundown, but it's just come to me.
Oh, Tim, I've done a lot of work on that rundown.
All right, your rising star.
Oh.
Who's going to be your best?
George Wardlaw. That's for Johnny.
George, he played last year.
Yeah, that's right. He's still eligible. John, I'm sorry. He rang while I was in the middle of shifting.
Right.
I couldn't talk there. I was in a bad state.
Right.
You should see my tomatoes, George's.
Are they ripening yet or not?
Johnny, rather, from Ebbing.
Yeah.
I'd have 100 tomatoes on those plants.
How are they ripe yet or
They're
not?
green. They're all green.
Okay. Just getting back to the recruits of the year. Now, these are players that have been recruited from other teams.
Well, you didn't
who do
tell
you
me
think
who
is going to? Who do you think is going to have the most impact?
Who's your rising star?
Jeb Walters.
He's injured. He's got a broken collarbone.
Yeah, I know, but he'll be back early in the season.
I think it's hard. I
love what I'm hearing about.
I fell into that trap last year with Sam Darcy. I think those big kids take time.
He's not that big though.
Jed Walter.
Yeah, he's 193, 194.
He's massive.
No, he's not.
What? Who told you that?
No, I've been doing my homework, as we're required to do when we do a program about sport, and in particular the AFL.
That's right.
The best recruit from another team, who do you think that might be for you?
195.
I really like, you know what, I reckon this is one of the best target type recruits that any club has been able to pull off over the summer months.
What? Who is it?
Given what their needs are, right? So every club's needs are a little bit differently, but I think that St Kilda desperately needed somebody like a Liam Henry. And I was watching him play last year, and I'm thinking to myself while I'm watching him at Freo, gee, they've got a good one here. You know, he's gone through the early stages of developing and understanding the game. He's ready to blossom. He's ready to explode. And lo and behold, they lose him. Who do you like?
What is the question?
The best recruit from another team.
Oh, I put Jack Ginnivan.
Jack Ginnivan?
Yeah.
Why?
Not sure.
What do you like about Jack?
I don't know. I think.
We've seen a lot of form from Jack.
I think when you've got
we fit into that.
A young team who have been down the bottom of the ladder for a while, you need some extroverts. You need someone who's prepared to walk in there, puff your chest out, and say, "Here I am. Let's get into it." So I think he can have an influence.
Right. My question for you, okay, given that we've got all that out of the way.
I haven't finished.
Okay. What other answer have you got?
I knew you wanted to get away from this. Club under most pressure. I knew, because you said to me on that Christmas Eve Zoom, you said, listen, I'll do it, but don't ask me the club under most pressure, because I struggle with that.
The club under most pressure.
Yeah.
I think the Bulldogs are probably the club under the most pressure right now, because there's an expectation that they've been building and building and building, and I think that they've had a couple of false starts. They haven't got there. And then I think this year is going to be a really interesting year for the Bulldogs. They've been sort of close-ish, but as I said to you yesterday, their midfield has actually, Smith's not going to play this year. They lost Dunkley.
Yep.
McRae doesn't have the impact that he once had as a midfielder. Bontempelli's probably close to, if not the best player in the competition. We know that, but he can't do all the work on his own. Treloar's okay, and he's been good, but not great. I just don't know that they've got the engine room now to carry themselves to the promised land. Who do you think's under the most pressure?
Port Adelaide.
Reasons though?
Well, I haven't quite come to grips with the fact that they said we won't make a decision on the coach until August. So I think that's
So how's that going to impact this year?
Well, you know what? When they were making those noises, they were flying. They made the decision on the coach in August, and then they've lost 6 of their last 9 games, including straight sets out in finals.
Yes, but I watched you a little show on a Monday night, and you keep talking about this because you got your premiership window, and I believe you've been doing a lot of interior design over the summer months about your premiership window and the room that it's going to sit in this particular year.
Did you watch that coverage of the Super Bowl yesterday?
I did.
So there was a little window reference in there.
Was there? Your window reference to them all year was about their defence. Yep. Okay, so anything that they've done in the off-season has improved that, do you think?
Radaglia and Zerk Thatcher. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to so they identified it as well, trying to shore it up. When my pressure is different, may be different. I'm not saying they're going to be hopeless, but I'm saying when you make a call on your coach in August before the most important part of the season starts in September, and then you go out in straight sets and lose 6 of your last 9, there's some pressures on.
Yeah, but I think he had that on him all year last year too, as a coach. I
know he does.
And it was extreme all year.
Of course, and that's what Kenny knows that more than anyone. He's spoken about it in recent times. He said he knows he's under pressure. So that's it. Anyway, I'm still trying to get my head around the timing of the decision.
Right. Can I ask this question about? It's not on our rundown, and I've been meaning to. I meant to put it on the rundown. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's about Ross Lyon and the power that's been handed to him, or from the outside looks to have been handed to him to run the whole football department. Mm-hmm. Good, bad, okay.
Well,
Is he the right person to be given that sort of power?
I would need to talk to someone because that's been denied, hasn't it? That Ross is not making those decisions.
Yeah, I know, but if you look at it from the outside in I'm not criticising him because I think that there are certain people out there that can operate like that, and it's good to give them the opportunity to be able to make those decisions. And I'm a big fan of Ross, so I actually believe that he's got a great football mind. He's been around a long time. He's an experienced person, and he understands the game from all sides. Okay,
yeah,
but is there a danger in doing that?
But there is an inherent danger in giving anyone in your organisation too much power.
If you give the wrong person the power, if you give the right person the power.
That's right. And you know what?
I'm saying you've given the right person the power.
Well, the answer to that will be in the end of the year because there would have been times, and this accusation was directed at Alistair Clarkson all the time, too much power. Got too much power. Well, not when he's just putting cups in your cabinet. Then no one was whinging about how much power he had then.
And Sheedy too, like, I remember Kevin saying, many times, like when you're the coach, you coach the whole club. But if you're the right person with the right amount of experience who understands all the different roles and the people you need to have in place, that's the right person. But if you're inexperienced and then you're making those decisions, then they're the wrong person.
Yeah. But you've got to be answerable too to someone.
Well, you have to be answerable to somebody within your organisation.
Yeah.
And so therefore you've got to say that the relationship that he has with the president is probably the most senior person that he's going to be answerable to. Now, that doesn't necessarily sit well with some people because the structure should be that, the football manager is above you maybe in some organisations and above that person is the CEO. Yeah, but, I mean, clubs can cut their cloth differently and they can still have success.
Last one before we take a break and then we'll talk about some other footy issues and in particular your astounding interview. I think it was with Jake Stringer. I didn't see much, saw a lot of you. Your Brownlow medalist.
Eric Goulden.
Who?
Eric Goulden. He plays for the Sydney Swans.
Oh, is he
He
brother?
Finished in the top 5 last year.
Who is he?
Eric Goulden.
Oh, the brother of Errol.
I always say.
He's got a twin brother. Well, you have been a smart aleck then too.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I said who, and you go, Eric, he plays for Sydney. You idiot.
You know what? I actually wrote his name down as Eric Goulden.
Put that in the file, boys.
Oh, Eric.
There's one for pickers on Saturday morning. I, as we go to the break, have got Tom Green from the GWS Giants to win the Brownlow. So doing our very well thought out and very heavily researched predictions. Speaking of straight sets, Gary, let's not ignore your team under pressure. Not to mention the indiscretions late, Tim. 100% right, Tim. You're 100% right. They are under pressure. Tony's in Craigieburn. G'day, Tone.
G'day, boys. Welcome back.
Thank you.
First off, you've been missed. My question this morning is, you guys have forgotten about the premiers of last year, haven't you? Jeez, I mean, I would have thought Dacos would be a chance of the Brownlow. I would have thought the Pies would have been a big chance to go back to back with their list as well. So have you disregarded the Pies, or is this just a 5-minute sort of...
Oh no, Tone. We've thought about it. No, you would be 100% right too, Tone. The Magpies are rightfully premiership favourites, and Nick Dacos is rightfully Brownlow medal favourite. But we're just trying to give a different perspective. Yeah. If you're I'm assuming you're a Magpie supporter, you are 100% in the gun. I have a bit of a thing, Tone. I never pick back-to-back premiers. I think it's the hardest thing to do in footy. I know it's been done a bit, but if they can come up and go back to back, which they could very, very well do, then that would again rubber stamp them. But no, they're right in it, mate. They're up to their eyeballs.
Yeah, and they didn't do it with one leg in the air though last year either, did they? Like they didn't just sweep the competition and smash everybody and look like they were way and above every other team.
I said at some stage they did, but they came back.
No, they came back to the field late in the piece, and in the end, I mean, they did all they needed to do, but they just got there in the end. So they weren't like you wouldn't look. I haven't looked at them and thought, okay, they're a dynasty team, like they're going to be the team that you have to beat for the next 5 years.
Good on you, Tone. We're just throwing our little predictions out, mate. So take them how you want. Conversation starter is for the Drain Man. Drain problems, call the experts the Drain Man. Hey, I was interested.
You stand your ground very well. I thought you backed down a little bit there with Tone.
What? By saying that Collingwood are a chance to win the flag?
Yeah, I thought you did.
I
was hoping that you came back in 2024
Corn
and you were going to be a little bit braver in your predictions.
Corn would have said no chance, the Magpies.
Errol Goulden it is too, by the way.
No, too late. That's in the can, Eric.
The other thing, the other faux pas with Errol Goulden is last year when I was talking about his dad being English. Remember?
That's right. You've made a meal of it.
I'm never going to mention Goulden again on this program.
You and Eric and the rest of the Goulden family aren't on the same page. Hey,
just remind me if I ever start to talk about a Goulden, shut me down.
Jesse reckons he did well, Eric, to finish top 5 in the Brownlow without playing a single game.